Today we will be showing you how to update your refrigerator seal system repair diagnostic jig. When you turn your jig on, if you have version 2.0 like shown here, your jig is outdated. It'll need to be updated to version 3.5. To do this, we'll be using the same software jig that you use right now to update all your compressors. And you will also need to use the LGSC app version 6.8 or higher. And I will show you how to update your LGSC app now if you need to. To update your LGSC app to version 6.8, go to lgsc.lge.com/install like you see on the screen right now. You'll click Install Android. You see version 6.8 is highlighted, so we'll download that APK. Now it tells us that our file is downloaded, so we'll click Open. We will run the APK and click Install. And this will update our LGSC app to version 6.8. So it says App Installed. We'll click Open. It's asking us to do our email verification again. It'll send a verification code to our email. Enter the verification code. So we are now syncing data. After you do the email verification, as you can see, we're still on the syncing data screen. It's been about 2 minutes. It's still not finished yet. So depending on your service and where you're at, it may take 2 to 5 minutes to complete syncing data before it goes any further. We're about 3 minutes in now, and it switched from syncing data to syncing firmwares, as you can see on the screen. It's now at about the 10-minute point, and syncing firmware is about halfway completed. It took right at 15 minutes to get through the syncing data and syncing firmware screens, but now we're into the LGSC app and we're version 6.8. So just when that pops up about permissions, just click while using the app, click confirm. So the way you'll know that it's version 6.8 is you'll have this new feature pop up on the screen that says download jig, and that's important for what we're going to do today. So now I'll show you how to download those files and get your refrigerator service jig updated. To download the new files that we need for our refrigerator diagnosis jig, we're going to click Download Jig. It tells us to enter a model name, but we're going to type in REF, and it gives us 2 choices. We want to choose the bottom one that says refjig l1.global. We're going to press Next. At the bottom, we're going to hit the download button. This gives us instructions, which we're going to show you during this video on how to do these things. And at the bottom, we're going to click Confirm. Allow permissions if you get this screen to pop up. And I'm going to say to put it in My Files and select Always. So now it has downloaded LGSC_jig folder into my downloads file. If for some reason you get kicked out to the main screen and you're trying to find that, just pull up from the bottom. You'll find the My Files folder wherever you have it located at on your device. And here we are again, you'll select Downloads, and there's that LGSC_jig. And if we click on that to open it, you'll see that there's 3 files here that we need to move on to our software update jig, which I'll show you how to do that now. You should have received a USB-A to USB-C adapter. You will plug this into your software jig. You will then plug the other end, the smaller end, into your tablet or your cell phone. You will then power the jig on, and the screen will say Mass Storage Device. Then I'll show you how that looks on the screen of the tablet when you do that. I now have my software update jig connected to the tablet using the adapter cable, It is powered off. I'm going to turn it on now. Now the screen of the jig says mass storage connected, and at the top of the tablet screen you see that little USB icon loaded, and if you pull down you can select USB storage added and open. So this shows all the software files that you currently have on your jig. That's what you're using right now to update main boards when you change compressors or craft ice makers. We want to go back and find the file that we downloaded from LGSC, so we're going to click Downloads on the left hand side of the screen. There's our folder, LGSC_jig. We're going to touch that. We're going to touch it again till we see our 3 files. That's what we need to move over to our software jig. So we're going to press and hold down on the top one, and at the top we're going to select All. So our 3 files are now selected. At the bottom, we're going to hit the Move button. And then in your left-hand screen, we want to find the USB storage 1. We're going to select that. And in the very bottom right-hand corner, it says Move Here. We're going to click Move Here. So now those files have moved over onto our jig. An important step that you don't want to miss is at the top, there's that folder that says lost.directory. Let's hold down and we're going to delete that before we turn the jig off and remove it from the tablet. So I'm going to click delete. Now we're ready to power the jig off, which I'm going to do at this time. I'm powering off now. I am removing the jig from the tablet. Once you have turned the jig off and removed it from the tablet, we're now going to turn the jig on. You'll get a screen about new software has been added. You press the button 1 time. It's going to load the new files that we downloaded from LGSC. It just added those to the software files that you already had. And now we'll be able to update our seal system repair jig. Alright, we're now ready to update the board that's inside our seal system repair diagnostic jig. So to get to that board, there's 2 screws on each side. We're going to take those 4 screws out so we can pull this cover up. And then it's just like doing a software update like you do for compressors every day. But let me get this cover off and I'll show you. All right, we've got our 4 screws out. This cover simply just slides up. Just be careful with this ribbon cable in the back. This is the port that you're going to be updating. And you're going to use the red connector from your software jig. So use the red connector. We're going to plug in like always. And again, make sure that this is not plugged into power before you do this, just like you would a regular refrigerator. We're going to turn our jig on. We're going to press the button. It's going to go through the same screens that you guys are used to seeing every day. So there it found our original checksum. Tells us that it's a compressor cycle jig. We're going to press the button again. Now it's going to go through and it's going to download the new firmware. Upgrade complete. So now you can turn off, disconnect from the board, and put your cover back on with your 4 screws. I'll get that done and we'll come back and turn the jig on and see what version we have. So we now have our refrigerator seal system repair diagnostic jig back together. We have updated the software. We're going to turn it on. And as you can see, we now have version 3.5, which is what we were trying to accomplish today. So hopefully this video will help you guys successfully update your diagnostic jig. Thank you.